Another school shooting has so many people trying to understand how and, more importantly, why. Dr. Richard Levack is here to explain why this keeps happening. Dr. Levack, will there be a day that we don't have these conversations here on the news?
I think there will, Shelley. I think we're beginning to move towards understanding the complex interaction of things that produce a school shooter. And if we could get every city, if they could have a threat assessment group where parents could call and would feel safe that there's not going to be an overreaction, the kid isn't going to be expelled immediately. Well, we can, because most of these kids are mentally ill, they need psychiatric help, and we don't have that. They do in schools. They have now a threat assessment protocol, but in almost every school shooting, almost everyone, there were lots of signs. Somebody knew, somebody saw, and it wasn't reported, it wasn't dealt with.
As the days go on, a lot of people are asking why, and more information is coming out about how somebody could do something so horrible to so many innocent children.
Right.
Now they're looking for answers.
Right.
And little bits of information are starting to come out, just like you said. People knew.
Right.
Somebody heard. He was bullied, this particular person involved in this shooting. And why do people not speak up?
It's interesting. We don't really have enough research. That's a great question. I think we're afraid to make a fuss. We're afraid to get it wrong. We're afraid to label a kid. They're kids, and we worry that we're going to harm their lives if we turn them in. There are lots of signs early on. The researchers call it leakage, where the kid is telling someone, I'm buying guns. Somebody's going to pay the price. Somebody is going to go down. Those statements are made often on social media to friends. For example, if you have a child that has psychiatric problems, depression, anger, resentment, feeling unfairly treated, on top of it, they're socially isolated. On top of it, they are preoccupied with guns. In the baking class, they bake a cake in the shape of a gun. They talk about violence. All of those are leakage, signs that they are letting the world know they're angry, unhappy, and they will also let it be known that they are getting hold of weapons.
They will say that.
They will say that. Yes, they will brag, or they will tell someone, or they will say, you know, you wait, next week there's a big deal happening, and I have the means to do it. So there are lots of small, subtle and not so subtle signs, and we have to become more aware and not afraid to say something.
You talk about those signs though, Dr. Levack: anxiety, depression, anger, being angry with the world, being bullied. I mean, these are very common things among just teenagers and growing up and being an adolescent, no?
Shelley, that's such a good point. The problem is we don't want to overreact. Loads of teenagers have anxiety, depression, but it's a number of coexisting conditions that are the critical factor. You're angry, you're resentful, but you start to talk about getting revenge. You start to collect weapons. You are isolated. You don't have any support system. You're on your own. You're in your own inner fantasy world. You might have some psychotic elements. That's how they are different from ordinary teenage angst.
Often, and unfortunately with every school shooting that we cover here, the mother to 4 children. Now my mind goes, I look at that person, I said, okay, at one point you were a baby, and somebody was feeding you, and you were cooing, and you were laughing, and you were walking, and you were clapping your hands, just as my little children do.
Doing skippity-doo,
right?
Yeah.
Where do they change? What happens to them?
Right.
Is this a learned behavior? Were they born with this?
That's, again, just such a poignant statement you're making. Almost all of these kids have a long history of psychiatric, psychological issues. In rare cases, you have a child that has a psychopathic trait, that they are genetically inclined to callousness, lack of empathy, cruelty. That's rare. More often, it's a long, slow progression of events that you have lots of early signs that my child is disturbed. If they're being cruel to animals, if they're preoccupied with fire or weapons or guns, if they're constantly angry. Most parents just never have to worry about that. But it's a confluence of events, lack of support system, isolation, as well as psychiatric severe problems and rage.
Well, I know that a lot of people are raging in anger because of what happened again, and hopefully this will be the beginning of a big change.
Yes, and thank you for doing that, Shally. We need a dialogue about what can we really do to prevent this?
And part of it is talking about it.
Exactly.
Dr. Levack, thank you. Always appreciate your time.